Good evening. Thank you all for being here tonight. Welcome to NBW's second annual virtual fundraiser. My name is Jessica West. I'm the Executive Director at Neighborhood Bike Works, and tonight we have some exciting content for all of you. You'll hear from our Youth Programs Director and from one of our Youth Council members. One of our board members is also here to talk about an exciting pilot program for our youth. We have exciting stories to tell, some accolades to share, and a new video to show you which highlights Bike Church, our DIY community bike shop hours. As part of this fundraiser, we are raffling 4 bicycles. You can bid on these bikes until May 9th. First up is this state bike company, All Road Bike. Our friends at Velojean have donated this bike to our fundraiser. If you want to bid, you can click the link below the video, scan the QR code, or text state bike, STATEBIK, to 855-202-2100. The winner will be able to select their size, and if you don't know your size, that's not a problem. The mechanics at Velojean will help you pick out the perfect bike for you. This bike is valued at $899.99, and bids start as low as $10 for 10 chances. Next up, the Trek Emonda S bike. This bike was donated to Neighborhood Bike Works by one of our loyal supporters. This bike was ridden less than 100 miles and has been thoroughly reviewed by our mechanics. It is in great shape and ready for the road. It's a smaller frame, 50 centimeters, but would be perfect for someone 5 foot to 5'4" in height, and also would be great for a youth cyclist. You can click the link below the video, scan the QR code, or text TrekBike, TREKBIKE, to 855-202-2100. Next up, a great kids bike package. REI Conshohocken has generously donated a kids bike, a year-long service package, and some really amazing accessories for NBW to raffle. Their mechanics will help keep your kid road ready and safe for the whole year. This package is valued at $543, and this bike is suitable for a child that is 42 to 52 inches tall or 6 to 10 years old. You can click the link below the video to buy chances, or you can text REI Bike, REIBIKE, to 855-202-2100. And last but certainly not least, some of our NBW youth have been earning paychecks over the past month using the wrenching skills that they learned in our programs to refurbish this 1993 specialized Rockhopper FS bike. You can buy chances by clicking the link below, or by scanning the QR code, or texting student bike, STUNDENTBIKE, to 855-202-2100. You can buy chances on all 4 bikes until May 9th. We also have some amazing silent auction packages available for bidding. We have 8 packages in total. 2 of those back packages are bike gear packages, and just before the fundraiser started, we received an additional, I think, 4 items that you won't see listed in our materials tonight, but we're going to add those right after the fundraiser. You can bid on these packages through May 9th. There's a local eats package, which features dinner for 2 at Fork Restaurant. Ellen Dean's restaurant is in Old City, and she is a James Beard nominee this year. We have a Philly history and culture package featuring tickets to 6 different Philadelphia museums and cultural institutions. We have a city and suburbs package, which features amazing activities, restaurants, and live performances at sites in the Philadelphia suburbs. There's a Philadelphia sports package featuring flyers and Phillies tickets and tons of great sports gear. And a fitness package, which includes CrossFit, yoga, and Muay Thai classes, and a ton of gear from Athleta. The cool thing about this package is there's a $100 gift card to Athleta, and included in that is a 1-hour styling session, one-on-one, for you to get some exercise clothes for all these great activities that you've just won. There's a little something for everyone. And there's a link to bid below the video, or you can also text NBW Silent Auction to 855-202-2100. The telephone number is the same for all of the prize packages. It's just the text is different depending on what you are looking to link to. At this time, I would like to thank our two event sponsors, Cozen O'Connor and Loretta Witt Homes of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realty. Their generous support has helped make tonight's program possible. I'm also very excited to announce a matching gift opportunity that we have tonight. We have an anonymous donor who is willing to match all donations we get live during this event up to $5,000. So every dollar that you donate tonight during our program will double. And how do you donate? You can click the link below, or you can text 5,000 match, that's 5000 MATCH to 855-202-2100. And you'll see this information scrolling below me and the other speakers throughout the night. So we have the match number up for you at any time. There's so many ways to give. And if you're interested to hear what your dollars fund, I can tell you that too. So $50 buys a lock, a helmet, and a patch kit for a youth graduate. $100 buys a monthly group ride for youth and their families to explore Philadelphia's watershed trails. $150 gives an essential worker a bicycle to safely commute to work through our Bikes for Neighbors program. $250 pays for one youth council member to earn a paycheck during our holiday bike build. And you're going to hear more about that holiday bike build a little later in the program. $600 sponsors a youth through our Earn a Bike program, and $1,000 trains one youth for a paid job opportunity at NBW. But donations of any amount will help us towards this goal. And remember, with our matching gift, your donation will have twice the impact tonight. So next, I'd like to welcome our Youth Programs Director, Mustafa Abdul Rashid, who is going to tell you a bit about Youth Council and what these youth have been up to over the past year. And then we'll hear from one of our NBW Youth Council members, Mahmoud Amin, who will speak about the 2021 Holiday Bike Build and his experiences at NBW. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mustafa.
Hey, good evening. Hi, I'm Mustafa Abdul Rashid. I'm the Youth Program Director here at Neighborhood Bike Works. Neighborhood Bike Works have a youth council of about 10 members, age ranging between 12 to 18. They meet up with me every Friday on Zoom for about 30 minutes. Try to keep it at 30 minutes because they might be zoomed out, whatever. The Youth Bike Council plays a big part in the programming here at Neighborhood Bike Works. A couple different things. The youth bike. What I like to do is I like to tell the youth bike council about what's going on at Bikeworks. Show them different lesson plans. Show them the calendar, the program calendar. Tell them about what's going on at Bikeworks. Just to give them an opportunity to kind of weigh in on what's going on and some different things on Bikeworks so they can have a better experience at Bikeworks. So some of the things that they youth council impacted or help make decision with is hiring a program staff person here in Neighborhood Bike Works, finding interesting group rides to ride to. Um, and actually, one thing that actually stood out the most was the winter bike build. The winter bike build is it always happens right after Thanksgiving. It's a program to where we use the bikes that we can't use that's donated to us that we can't use for our regular programming. The bikes are normally like between like a 16 to 20-inch bike, and yeah, we decided to redistribute those bikes to the community. So that this year, I think it was either 14 or 15 kids earned a paycheck with like refurbing these bikes. They all come in various conditions. What we did was we saved them throughout the year just to kind of give away, and we gave them away to three, I believe four different organizations. Um, the organizations were Plant a Seed, 501c3, uh, Bear Rec Center in South Philly, Masjid Mujahideen, and Partners for Success. And I wanted you to hear from one of the youth here that had a really good experience at Bikeworks. Um, Mahmoud, I mean,
Uh, Hello, my name is Mahmoud Amin. I started at Neighborhood Bike Works in late 2020. My first program being Earn a Bike. During my time at NBW, I gained not just experience in bike mechanics, but life experience. And Neighborhood Bike Works has given me an opportunity to meet new people and work on something I love while being paid for my work. And they have given me an opportunity to experience so many different types of people, which has broadened my horizons and given me a wider view of the world. I've been taught so many different things throughout my time at in neighborhood bike works programs, and some of the biggest programs I participated in are the bike valet, the summer camp, the camping trip, the winter bike build, and the youth council. Even though it rained on the first day, the camping trip was my favorite program so far, with the winter bike build being close second. And the winter bike build has so many different aspects to it, and there are so many different learning opportunities. The winter bike build gave me one of my first experiences with charity on a big scale, and my first experience with the bike build was in 2020, and it allows NBW to use all their donation bikes. And the winter bike build, it's a charity event in which you fix usually 16 to 20-inch bikes so we can donate them to different charities. And typically we try to pick like one charity from the communities of like the youth in the shop. And the youth council is a big part of the winter bike build, helping to come up with charities to donate to and speaking at events. And the youth council has helped me with public speaking and voicing my opinion and letting my voice be heard. And that's something I've had trouble with in the past. And the youth council helps with programs by giving a youthful perspective on bicycles and bicycle safety. And it makes it so youth are heard, and it makes it so the programs are constantly changing. And with youthful input, there's always room for improvement and change. And I've seen the courses change with my own two eyes. With my own eyes during my 2 years at Neighborhood Bike Works. I'd walk into Neighborhood Bike Works and I would be like, oh, this is new. Like every time. And I've learned something almost every time I came into the shop. And I'm thankful for my time at Neighborhood Bike Works and how it has changed my life. And thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. I love what you had to say about youth having a voice, because that is exactly what I want to talk about next. In addition to providing top-notch programming for our youth, we also provide ways for them to have a voice. We're nearing completion of a new strategic plan, which will outline NBW's goals over the next 5 years. And we're currently working with Youth Council to get their feedback and input on the plan's objectives, especially regarding youth programs. Throughout my own career, I've learned a very valuable lesson: trust your experts. And here at NBW, the youth are our experts. They know what youth programming should be. We try to give them ways to tell us what they want to see at NBW whenever possible. So they have a voice here. And with your help, we can reach even more youth. It looks like we are already at $1,740 donated during the event so far. So let's keep that rolling. We got a little ways to go, but we can do this. So thank you. There's still time to give. We also listen to what kind of programming the youth want to see us offer. Over the past year, we've been hearing that some of our youth have an interest in both BMX and mountain biking. It just so happens that we have the head coach for the Delaware County NICA team on our board of directors. So this spring, Kurt Morris offered to teach a teaser mountain bike course on Saturdays in April, so we could gauge interest and see if this is programming that our youth want us to add. So he's here tonight to tell you about his experience working with the youth who took advantage of this cool opportunity. So allow me to introduce Kurt.
Thanks, Jesse. So yeah, as Jesse said, I am a youth mountain bike coach. I've been coaching for about 3 or 4 years. Started with about 8 kids, and now when I coach, there's about 100 there this year. So there's nothing I love more than getting kids on bikes and helping them to experience what a bicycle can bring to them. And when I heard that the youth of Neighborhood Bike Works really wanted to experience mountain biking, I was more than happy and really wanted to jump in and help. And so I wanted to share just a couple of stories quickly with all of you about my experience this April. We've had a few sessions thus far. They've been great. The first day that I was there, I met Cariana, who was a girl in 4th grade. And she was very skeptical about, I don't know this guy. He came in here with a bike with like really big tires. I don't really know about this. Like, I don't know if I trust him. Very clear that I kind of had to earn that trust. And so as we were making our way over to Belmont Plateau to ride our mountain bikes, we found ourselves going up a little bit of a hill grade. And I looked over and she had her seat really low and her legs were really, really going. And I said, Cariana, would you like me to help you get up the hill? And she said, sure. And I said, well, let's raise your seat just a little bit. And if you don't like it, we can put it back down, but let's raise your seat a little bit and see if that helps you get up the hill. And sure enough, as soon as we raised her seat, she zoomed up that hill and was at the top. And I knew I kind of earned that trust at that point. So flash forward maybe, an hour later, an hour and a half, we do some skills in the field and we learn a little bit about how to handle a mountain bike. And then we go into the woods and go on some single track in the woods at Belmont. And I don't know if anybody has ridden in Belmont before, but it only takes about 5 minutes on the trail before you're really surrounded by trees and you don't see the highways or the streets or the parking lot. And really just you're in the middle of the woods. And she stopped me and said, Mr. Kurt, are there animals in this forest? And I said, yeah, there are. There's, squirrels, and you might see a chipmunk running across the trail. If you're lucky, you might see some deer. So keep your eyes out and eyes open and see if you might see some. And she said, no. Are there animals that are going to eat me in this forest? And I said, no, not at all. There are no bears. There are no animals that are going to eat you. Just fun animals to watch. So it was at that moment that it hit me that Cariana had never experienced that before. She has never ridden her bike, although she's ridden her bike clearly a lot. She'd never ridden her bike in the woods in that way, and was very excited to do it after she kind of was put at ease and was able to ride her bike on the trails in the woods. Then at the end of the ride, another youth athlete said to me, "This was great. I didn't even know this was here. And I live right around the corner. Like, I can come here and ride my bike. And this is another way that I can experience, riding my bike and the freedom that a bike brings." And it's programs like this that Neighborhood Bike Works can bring to the children of our community to give them more experiences on a bike, the understanding of what freedom a bike can bring, and the experiences and joy that bikes bring to people. And so I was very fortunate that Neighborhood Bike Works, asked me to do this, and I can't wait to see how it grows into a larger program. And it's donations at events like this that will help programming like that continue to grow and continue to benefit, the youth of our community, that I think is so important. So those are my stories about mountain biking. And if anybody ever wants to ride in Belmont, you can probably find me there riding my bike. So thanks, Jesse.
Thanks, Kurt. It's so great to hear your positive experience teaching our youth. Like, this is why we do the things that we do at Neighborhood Bike Works. And we provide so many quality programming for our youth, but a lot of people don't realize we also provide programming for adults. Our Bikes for Neighbors program is going strong. We launched that during the pandemic to pair essential workers and families of our youth with free bicycles during the pandemic. And to date, we have 575 requests and have given away 141 bikes as part of that program. And in Mel's Community Bike Shop, we offer our DIY community bike shop hours, more commonly known as Bike Church. The program started in the basement of St. Mary's Church, and that's how the name came to be associated with it. In Bike Church, our patrons can work independently using our tools, bike stands, utilize one of our expert facilitators to help them learn new skills and keep their bikes road ready, or refurbish and rebuild a used bike, all at a very reasonable price. And this program, with sharing tools and working closely side by side, was the most complex part of our programming to continue during COVID-19. And I'm excited to announce that we have been able to restore a Bike Church and have recently even started adding back some weekend hours. But I'd love to give you a glimpse inside Bike Church. So now I'd like to share a brand new video that we have that's a look inside Bike Church. Bike Church is such a vital and important service that NBW provides to our community. There were so many folks who were affected by our inability to operate Bike Church effectively during the earlier portion of the pandemic. We're so thrilled that our Bike Church volunteers are back in action. Bike Church is a program that is nearly entirely volunteer run. Our dedicated volunteers are the lifeblood of our organization, especially when it comes to Bike Church. They are so vitally important to the success of our programs and make it possible for us to fulfill our mission in a way we couldn't do without them. I'd like to introduce you to one of our volunteers that has been with NBW since 2008. Jerry Marin is a regular volunteer at Bike Church and youth programs. He helps with all kinds of building projects, and he served on various committees. He was on NBW's board of directors for 8 years and was president for 4 of those years. Jerry knows the importance of volunteers to NBW and has seen a lot of change and progress over the years that he's been with us. But I'd like you to hear it in his own words. So I'd like to introduce Jerry.
Thank you, Jesse, for that nice introduction. Yes, I have been volunteering at BikeWorks for a long time. I find it a very fulfilling experience. Why do I volunteer? Well, personally, I feel that those of us who can need to give back to society for 2 reasons. One, to help the younger generation make their way in the world and help those who are less fortunate than us. And NBW is a unique organization because when you volunteer here, you can see the results of your volunteering directly. And for that reason, it's very fulfilling and rewarding. Come to an Earn a Bike graduation and see the smiles on the faces of the kids when they get to take home that bike that they've just been working on for 4 weeks or so. And their parents, when they see their child's face light up. Those are Kodak moments. I'm not sure what the correct, but those are heart-rendering moments. Also at Bike Church and the other adult programs, you get to see the appreciation when the patrons come and they learn how to fix a flat, or some of these need their bikes to go to work tomorrow, and so you help them and teach them how to fix them so that they're independent and can stay out of the bike shops and not have to do expensive repairs. There's also a very appreciative staff here that knows that volunteers are an integral part of the organization and make their job easier, and they actually thank us all the time. So volunteering here is very fulfilling. Now let's look at some of the opportunities. First of all, I know we're all about bikes, but don't worry if you don't know how to fix a bike. There's still plenty of other things to do. Lots of other skills are needed. Also, it's important to have an open mind. While everyone has specific skills and they're not all necessary at any moment, but ask the staff. One of the best questions is, how can I help? They'll tell you what needs to be done today or what the upcoming needs are. Specific opportunities, there's always need for volunteers in the supporting youth programs, whether it's assisting in Earn a Bike class, chaperoning ride club, being a summer camp assistant. There's always a need for help there. The staff guides the process, but they need more hands to keep things under control. On the adult side, Bike Church is all volunteer run and relies heavily on volunteers. Not necessarily everybody has to learn how to or needs to be able to fix bikes, but there's a lot of other behind the scenes stuff. Somebody has to greet the people as they come in the door. Somebody has to run the cash register. So there's a lot going on there. A very important part of our work is bike donations. All of the bikes that we get for the youth program and the adult programs are donated to us. So there's help needed there, both in soliciting donations as well as picking up bikes. And everybody, all volunteers and all of us, have to spread the word about NBW. And if you're up to it, the board of directors is a good place to volunteer if you feel like guiding the ship. It's the guiding group for NBW to make sure that we're staying on mission. In closing, I'd like to say that I highly recommend volunteering at NBW. It's an organization with a great mission where you can help others and see the results of your effort almost immediately. You will find it a fulfilling experience for yourself and the lives of the others that you touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Now that we've heard Jerry's take on the importance of volunteers at NBW and how crucial their contributions are in helping us reach our goals, I'm so appreciative to Jerry because he has such insight in this area. What Jerry doesn't know is that tonight I actually would like to specifically honor his personal contributions to NBW over the years. Jerry welcomed me into this organization with open arms, immediately made me feel like I had a solid supporter. His dedication is unflagging and his contributions are vast. I started as NBW's executive director just before the pandemic, so I've only known Jerry a short time. There are many other folks that know even better than me how truly invaluable Jerry is to NBW. He's a fixture here and everyone knows Jerry. So I would like to present a video that will show you all just what an impact Jerry has on NBW, its patrons, its youth, and its other volunteers.
Hey there, my name's Pete. Been volunteering with Neighborhood Bike Works since about 2014 or so, and I've been a regular on the Thursday night crew for all those years. And one of our Thursday nighters is Jerry, who just about everybody who's involved with Bike Works knows. And I feel very lucky that I've had the opportunity to work with Jerry for all these years. He's very kind and just great with all of the patrons that we have with the Bike Church programming, and it's just been so much fun to work with him. And his dedication. He's such an inspiration to certainly to myself. I don't want to speak for the other volunteers, but it's just been great to work with him and an honor. So that's just wanted to say that a little bit about Jerry. Thank you, Jerry.
My name's Amy, and I worked at Neighborhood Bike Works for 8 years. And the entire time that I worked there, Jerry was there. What stands out about Jerry as a volunteer is his versatility. He's a mechanic, he's a woodworker, he's an engineer, he's served on committees, he's helped as a fundraiser, and last but not least, he's been a support to the youth at Neighborhood Bike Works through coaching and role modeling. And he's also built just about everything in the shop. So I think Jerry's been volunteering for Neighborhood Bike Works longer than any staff person has been there. And he's reliable, he's consistent. If he says he's gonna build something, he's gonna come through. And as I said, he literally built almost everything in the Neighborhood Bike Works shop. At the time that Neighborhood Bike Works moved to Lancaster Ave, he was the president of the board, and I don't think that the organization could have made the move without him. He helped he helped look at all the locations, he helped build the budget, he helped fundraise, he did it all, and it was amazing. And then, of course, once we found the location, he became almost a free staff person. He was volunteering so often and building out the space. And I left Neighborhood Bike Works 2 years ago and I actually saw Jerry this week. I asked him if he'd come into my new work and if he'd be willing to do another volunteer project. And he said yes. And so he actually built these shelves. He had built these handy book displays. And I knew that if he was if he was willing to do it, he'd come through and deliver. So he did, and he always does. Thank you, Jerry.
Hi, Jerry and everyone at Neighborhood Bike Works. This is Erin, the former executive director. I had the pleasure of working with Jerry many years ago when Bike Works was going through a lot. We moved from our old location, many locations actually, and Jerry and I got to work together to figure out what Neighborhood Bike Works was going to look like with the rest of our staff and our youth and our board members and volunteers as well. I think Jerry was just the best person to work with. He always brings such heart and soul to his work, so much love for the community at Bike Works and for all the youth, and so many handy skills, as I'm sure you all know. But he also was just such a great partner in the really challenging work that we had to do. We spent a lot of time looking at real estate together for that new bike shop. We ended up getting to celebrate with champagne together even, which was lovely and well-deserved. Jerry, I hope you're doing well. I miss you and all the Bikeworks community, and I'm grateful I had the chance to work with you, and I'm so glad that you're being honored today. You deserve every bit of it.
Jerry's dedication to NBW is instantly apparent. He's a doer, and I was fortunate to serve on the board with Jerry for over 4 years and see him do a lot. We put in a tremendous amount of work moving NBW from the basement of St. Mary's into the beautiful space on Lancaster Ave, and I can't see how it would have happened without Jerry. Jerry was the board president, he taught classes, built bike racks and tables, and basically bled black and yellow. It isn't an exaggeration to say that NBW is the wonderful organization in today, in no small part due to Jerry's hard work and dedication. Congrats on your well-deserved recognition, Jerry.
Jerry, thank you for all that you've contributed to NBW and the cycling community over the years. From your leadership on the board to teaching youth and adult programs, NBW literally wouldn't be the space that it is today without all your handiwork. It's been an honor to work with you and a true gift to have you part of the NBW community.
Hi, I'm Heather. I was NBW's operations manager and was lucky enough to work alongside Jerry during my time there. Let me tell you a few things about the man, the myth, the legend. Jerry is the most dedicated volunteer I have ever met. He cares so deeply about NBW, its staff, its youth, its other volunteers, and its patrons. Jerry is wise, and more than that, he's generous with his wisdom. He shares his knowledge and expertise with any and everyone. Jerry's resourceful. He can make and build, he can plan and execute. There's no task he cannot handle with grace and skill. But most importantly, Jerry is kind. He treats everyone with dignity, value, and respect. He sees the best and brings that out in all. Thank you, Jerry, for being so great and for helping to make my time at NBW so special.
I can't say enough good things about Jerry. He's been an exceptional mentor to me and so many other people at Neighborhood Bike Works. He does such incredible work for us and has for such a long time. And on top of all that, he's just a really fun person to be around. So Jerry, thank you so much for everything that you do, and I hope you're with us for many more years. If every organization had someone like you on their team, I think the world would be a much better place. Thanks.
So Jerry, thank you for all that you do for NBW. This video can't compare to your contributions, but I hope that at least it illustrates just how valued and appreciated you are by everyone here at NBW. And I hope this inspires other people. If this inspires you to volunteer at NBW, reach out to us. We always need more volunteers, just as Jerry was saying, in many ways. You can find out more on our website, and we can put anyone's time and talents to good use. I wanted to say a few thank yous before we wrap up for the evening. If you have last donations you want to get in, text those in, scan that QR code. Let's reach that $5,000. We're not quite there yet. But but I will say my thank yous and I'll do a final check at the end. I wanted to say a few more special thank yous to Mahmoud Amin for speaking tonight. I know he was nervous and he did such a phenomenal job. To Mustafa Abdul Rashid, to Kurt, to Jerry for speaking tonight, and to Oleg Ivanov for helping with all the tech support that made tonight's event possible, and to our board of directors, and in particular to our development committee. Mitch Arch and Patty Bakley helped bring this event to life. And of course, thank you to all of you for helping us, for being here tonight and supporting the programs that we do. Your support is crucial to NBW, and we are so grateful for your contributions. Thank you again to our prize sponsors and to our event sponsors, Cozen O'Connor and Loretta Witt Homes of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Subscribe to our YouTube channel below to receive updates about upcoming events. We have some other fundraisers coming up later in May. The silent auction and raffles are running through May 9th, so there's still time to get your bids in there and buy more chances. So I will leave you with a short video from one of our Earn a Bike classes, so that much like Bike Church, you can kind of see into our classrooms and see what they're all about. If you have any kids in your life you think would be interested, Earn a Bike will be back in the fall, and there will be opportunities to earn bikes as part of our summer camp. Registration for spring and summer programming is now available on our website, neighborhoodbikeworks.org. So enjoy your evenings. Thank you for joining us tonight. Stay healthy, stay happy. Thank you from everyone at Neighborhood Bike Works.